Hey, everybody, it's that time of year. Football is upon us. August is here. I'm Tony George from DocSports.com. We're going to be doing a series of college football season win total futures picks, over or unders. Um, we're going to wait for the NFL a couple more weeks. I like a couple weeks preseason to go by. Anything can happen, like a Joe Burrow type scenario. That could be a lot worse than that turned out to be. But key players, blowing out a knee in practice, tearing an Achilles, torn pec muscle, something going to keep them out 6 weeks, something to keep them out the entire season. So we kind of I don't want everybody standing there holding the ticket that's going to be worthless because Patrick Mahomes went down in the preseason game. He's going to be out 8 weeks. You don't want to be holding that ticket on the over if that's the scenario. And that's just a hypothetical, but it could be with any team, So Josh Allen, key wide receiver, running backs, what if Tony Pollard goes down for the Cowboy, anything. So we hold off a little bit till I know they're resting all the starters and they're starting the season full strength. So in the interim, college football, there's a lot more players on the roster. Easier to fill a hole when you've got 7 deep at running back than it is if you got 3 deep at running back. So we'll get to college football. And one thing I do in college football, I think everybody should do, there's so many games on a Saturday, sometimes you can lose sight of the forest because of all the trees. So I like to dial in on 4 conferences and then 3 or 4 teams that I look at every week. And I would say that 65 to 70% of my picks will come out of those conferences. And Big 12 is one of them. It has been. So I grew up near Lincoln, Nebraska. Did radio in Lincoln, Nebraska on a primetime show that wasn't gambling related for 6 years and interviewed all the coaches and kind of part of the Husker Football Network type thing. So and obviously I'm an alumni in Nebraska. So at the end of the day, I've been a Big 12 guy since I started this in 1992. As I enter my 31st year in handicapping games. Wow. See the age and the stress and, weathered eyes and gypsy smile. Well, that's why. This is tough business. One thing I look for is teams that are undervalued early on, and I think that Texas Tech is one of those teams. I think this is a sleeper team that could win the conference. Now, bear in mind, we've got Houston and Cincinnati coming in the conference this year, and we have the exodus of the Texas Longhorns and the Oklahoma Sooners after this year going to the SEC. Good luck with that. But nonetheless, I think one of these teams here that is going places is the Texas Tech Red Raiders. And you've got a season win total on them right now at 7.5. And the over is a plus number, around plus 105, 110, last I checked. This is a team that is loaded offensively. They're well coached by Joey McGuire. They had an 8-5 year last year. They can equal that. I think they might be able to do 1 or 2 games better. Offensively, they were 26th last year in scoring and 22nd in total yards. And both those numbers are going to be better this year. And the schedule is very favorable for them. Their first 5 games, they'll probably be 4-1. The only loss will be their second game at home, by the way, against Oregon. And anything can happen in a game like that. You're going to have to score points to beat Texas Tech. Now, one thing about Texas Tech, they have 14 returning starters, second team, all Big 12 punter coming back. He'll be first team this year. Why is that important? Field position. Yeah. That being said, one thing about them, they ranked 27th nationally last year in recruiting. That's the best ranking they've had in 4 decades. They picked up needs on the defensive side of the ball, which is what they really concentrated on. They got a couple of players offensively, wide receiver out of Austin Peay that's going to be an impact player right out of the gate, going to be a superstar for them. They were already deep there, and experience. This is a senior-laden team. But they picked up two, not one, but two four-star defensive backs in recruiting. The number 19th ranked linebacker in the entire nation and the number 27th ranked edge rusher in the entire nation. Now, is this high school football and you're going to dominate? No. But as the season goes along and that learning curve gets a little less, these players are going to be impact players down the stretch. They close at Texas. So that's a loss. Oregon's a loss. There's a couple others in there, but I don't see this team losing 5 games this year. 3, maybe 4. And they could contend for the Big 12 title. They've got a lot of speed. They look good in their spring game. They got a good coaching staff. Playing down in Lubbock is a hell of a road trip, too. You got a little bit more of a home field advantage than just, it's worth a couple points when you're playing down in Lubbock. I like this team. I like this team a lot. Over 7.5 wins. Texas Tech Red Raiders. Doc Sports. Football's here. We give you a free $60. Link in the description below or on the website on the upper left-hand corner of the website. It says free $60. Put that towards a football package. Get yourself hooked up this year with a company that's been around 52 years for a reason.